Today, we take a look at some punk and pop-punk cameos inside of some cartoons. Let's check it. Although cartoons seem like the farthest thing for a musician to appear in, it's actually a quite frequent thing. With everything from TVs and movies, bands and musicians have lent their likenesses to countless amounts of animation. And today we're looking at the punk and pop-punk musicians who have done just that. So let's jump into it. First up is Metalocalypse. I know, we're off to a weird start. Metalocalypse isn't exactly punk, but it's had some pretty heavy hitters as cameos in its day, who have all had punk influence at one point in their life or another. Featuring everyone from Dave Grohl and Jack Black to Steve Vai and James Hetfield, even with an appearance from Drake, who all lent their voices in the name of metal. The Wild Thornberrys. I mentioned this one in another video that I did on Nickelodeon musician cameos, and I'll link that up below. But anyways, as a reoccurring / cast member on The Wild Thornberrys is Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who played the little feral boy named Donnie. Now, Donnie really didn't have any lines, any dialogue, didn't talk, just made a bunch of noises. But in every episode, that was Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers making those weird noises. Blink-182 on The Simpsons. Featured in the episode Barding Over, which also featured legendary skater Tony Hawk. Blink-182 were spotted in a scene playing the song All the Small Things in this abandoned warehouse that Tony Hawk set up for runaway kids. The guys even have a few lines of dialogue in between playing the song on the episode. Rancid on South Park. In the Chef Aid episode of South Park, Chef gets taken on by a big record company in a gigantic lawsuit, which is where the whole Johnny Cochran defense came in. So former band friends of Chef come together and form something similar to Woodstock, which they call Chef Aid. Everyone from Ozzy Osbourne and Elton John to The Clash and Ween were spotted in this episode. There was even a compilation CD made, which featured all of these bands in the episode, as well as a special dubbed-over performance by Isaac Hayes, who played Chef on the show. Rance's song Brad Logan, or as I kind of know it as California Sun, is also featured in the show, and the band is actually animated into the show. Bowling for Soup in Phineas and Ferb. Bowling for Soup not only provided the music for the theme song, but also had the cartoon likenesses appear in the episode Quantum Boogaloo. Also, side note, Jarrett from Bowling for Soup provided the voice of Danny on the show, who was a reoccurring character, who was the lead guitarist on the show as an 80s hair metal band called Love Handle in the series. You can check out the band animated playing this theme song in the description below. Andrew WK and Uncle Grandpa. In the episode Shower Party, Andrew WK appears throughout the entire episode. Basically, the synopsis is while Uncle Grandpa is trying to take a shower, Andrew WK shows up and helps Pizza Steve, and Mr. Gus throws a party, and as we all know, no one throws a party quite like Andrew WK. Green Day in The Simpsons. Here's another one from The Simpsons. The Simpsons movie was nearly 20 years in the making, and the opening scene of the movie depicted Green Day performing a rock rendition of the iconic Simpsons theme song. The band was then killed in the movie after the town pelted trash at the floating stage that the band was performing on, which went down in comedic fashion, similar to the Titanic sinking. In the following scene in the church during the band's eulogy, you can hear the church organist play a church-appropriate rendition of the band's song American Idiot. Good Charlotte in the show Undergrads. Following suit with Bowling for Soup. Well, actually, Undergrads came first in 2001, but whatever. Good Charlotte provided the theme song to the show, which is actually on one of the band's records, and the song's called The Click, and also appeared in the episode The Risk. The show sadly only lasted one season, and appeared on MTV in 2001, but also featured everyone from Reggie and the Full Effect to Alkaline Trio. However, in 2018, a Facebook page was created, along with a Kickstarter to make the Undergrads movie, because the original creator got the rights back from MTV, and as of July of 2018, the Kickstarter was successful, so fingers crossed there might be an Undergrads movie that comes out. Simple Plan in Scooby-Doo. It's mind-blowing how many bands have provided not only a theme song, but showed up as a cartoon likeness in the show or movie that they've been in. And this is the same for Canadian pop-punk band Simple Plan, who wrote and recorded the theme song to What's New Scooby-Doo for the series and popped up in the episode Simple Plan and the Invisible Madmen. The band also provided their own tunes, Grow Up and Don't Want to Think About You, as well as appeared in the live-action Scooby-Doo 1 and Scooby-Doo 2 movie. Last but not least, Fall Out Boy in Teen Titans Go. Fall Out Boy appeared and voiced themselves in a 4-part series of Teen Titans Go, which all started when the voice of Raven, Tara Strong, bumped into Pete Wentz, a Fall Out Boy, on a plane, said she was a huge fan of the band, and that maybe the band should do some guest stuff on the show one day. And they actually did. All of the bandmates laid down their voices for the show, and also helped remix a song entitled The Night Begins to Shine. I'll leave a link to that also in the description below. Hope you guys like this. Didn't know there were that many bands that provided their likenesses for TV shows and cartoons. What band would you like to see in a cartoon? I think a full-fledged pop-punk cartoon show, kind of how the old Hulk Hogan cartoon did, would be kind of cool. It would feature like a different band or bands doing crazy stuff and interacting with each other in different episodes. And there would be some underlying over-moral theme to each episode. Kind of how the Hulk Hogan series did it. Anyways, that's it for today. Let's roll the outro. Later. Hey guys, we're at that part of the video where you should like and subscribe. And after the video is over, comment on some stuff. What did you like? What did you not like? What should I do next? Something like that. There's more to this channel than just the whole YouTube thing. I post daily blogs on thepoppunkdad.com, which features daily reviews and interviews from awesome bands from around the globe. Head on over to the Pop Punk Dad merch shop where you can find cool things like that right there. It helps the channel out and it lets me know that you love me. I have a weekly podcast called the Pop Punk Dadcast, which is on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Please subscribe. And hey, while you're at it, after this video, cruise on around and check out other content that tickles your fancy. Interviews with awesome bands, vlogs, cover songs, and more. You can check out all my socials, my IG, my FB, my Snapchat, and my Twitter at the Pop Punk Dad. And above all else, guys, stay pop punk. Later.